So today what we have on the agenda is splicing. So we just came off the whipping videos, and that's going to be playing a very important part with some parts today. So one of the ends I whipped is right here. This is the regular whipping, and this is going to be turned into the iSplice. So the iSplice is generally stronger than all the other ones combined because of how it's done. It's making a loop around the rope, so you'd have something like that looks like this after you're done splicing it. So what you're going to do first is going to unwrap this rope right here. So with that unraveled, the reason why you want to unravel this is because you're going to be feeding it in between the rope strands here, which I'll show you when I move. So make sure that's done. A single strand of the twisting that was happening before when we bought this rope, and insert it into one. So the first thing you want to splice is this middle strand. So you have the outside and you have this outside. The middle one's going to go first. So you make as big as loop as you want. You can do a 3-inch loop, you can do a 10-inch loop, depending on what you're using this for. I'm going to do this size loop because I just want to. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick out the top strand. So the top strand for this one is right here. And so you want to hold that, just like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this middle strand and run it in this way until this is uptight against this one. And that's your first step of the iSplice. After that is then you're going to find the second side of this. So you fed it through that one first, right? You want to twist this again. You want to use the second strand from the one you just did. You're going to take this running strand and run it through that one. And make sure you pull it tight. So you have two weaved in. Now what you want to do is, since those two are in now, you want to flip it over. You want to find that one strand that has nothing running into it. So this one has one, and that one has them. This doesn't. You're going to run it into this one. And that's pretty much your start of your iSplice. So you have 3 different strands here. So going back to your front view, right? All your strands are in there. Then you want to do is you want to take your next one, this one right here. This is your first strand. You want to unravel that and find the next one and go through this way. So you're still using the same strand you're coming up with. So this top strand. And then you do that. You're going to turn it over. You want to make sure the strands are always running this way. So make sure it's kind of following that curvature of the rope. It'll make it stronger in the long run. And then we're going to tuck. So the one that you don't have, which is this one, you kind of keep flipping it over and finding where that rope doesn't run through. You want to tuck that rope into that one, this strand, and tuck that one into that one. So then you have this left. Now what you want to do, because there's 2 or 3 things you can do. You can cut this off here, so you do 2-3 blades, which we've done 3. What I generally like to do now, since somebody taught me this, is if you weave the longer strands in, right? One way to make it look better is just kind of roll it in your hands, so just kind of flatten out that grain. Is because when this tensions up, when it pulls, that all that grip's going to be here. It's going to be all really bulky, right? And then you thin down into the rope until it's the natural size of the rope. Some other things you can do to make this stronger is we're going to cut this off first of all. So that cut off, you can add a whipping right here, and you can add one right here. This is just going to make it stronger so it doesn't slip out. But generally, when you're using this, it's not going to slip out because the tension of the rope where the twist is, it's going to tighten down on that. So with that, that is the iSplice. The iSplice is normally used for in the situations of your anchors. So you have a stake here, right? You put the stake in, and this is going to hold it because it's going to pull. The anchors can be to a monkey bridge, to a tower, It can be even to a crane. This probably could use to be a crane. You put a hook in there, you lash it in, and it would hold. You don't have to put the whipping there. That's just, it makes it easier to make this side stay together. Other than that, that is the eye splice. So the middle splice here is used to make to combine two different type of ropes to make a longer strand, or if you have a damaged part of the natural fiber rope where you want to fix it. This is generally going to be the weakest one out of all of them because you're actually joining two ropes, so I wouldn't use it for cranes or anything like that. Weight wise, it's not going to be holding much at all. Normally you would see this in the middle of the rope. So what we're going to do first thing is we're going to cut this rope like so in half. And then we're going to unravel up to this point right here. And with that done now, you're going to have something that looks like this. And what you want to do is you're going to insert the two ends like so that this one is up and the other one is down. You want to mate that in the middle like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your little string you have there, and I'm going to do a Western whipping to keep this from the thing falling apart. You don't have to do that much. It's just a temporary hold for stuff. We're going to finish off a square knot, and voila. And that's done. And now we have 3 ends on both sides. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start weaving this into the main structure of this rope. Again, we want to do 3 strands down and 3 strands down this way. So the first step we're going to do, pick a side. I'm going to do this side first. So we're going to pick a rope. Because when you're looking at this, when you lay it down this way, that's right next to it, right? So you want to go down to the second one, which is right there. And then you're going to roll it. And you're going to do the next string, which is right here. And then from there, pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to keep going around until you reach 3 to this end. And then after that, when that's done, you're going to switch to the other side, do the same thing. There you go, there's your middle splice. That's how you tie it. So the end splice is used for mainly to the end of the rope, right? And you want to make sure the rope doesn't come untied. And that's pretty much what it's used for, to stop things fraying, pretty much. So how you're going to begin this back splice is you're going to twist the rope so the strands are visible again. And you have that. So what you're going to do, that's the first step. The second step is you're going to take this, you're going to layer over this one, like so. So it creates a little loop. And they're going to cross this rope over here. So that's going to make a little figure 8, or like a rope bundle, if you think about it. And you have this strand down here. Then you're going to cross this strand over here, and you're going to pop into this way. The knot this makes is called a king's knot, if I remember correctly. It is a certain knot. And you're going to tighten that up, make sure it's nice and tight. If you pull too tight, it'll keep going down the rope, so keep that in mind. And now you have you have like different angles. So you have one coming off this way and the other ways. So what you can do is you're going to start wrapping this in. So you're just going to start somewhere. I'm going to grab this strand first. I'm going to unravel this one right here. You're going to tuck that into that one, just like so. And then you're going to flip it over. You're going to repeat that process right next to it. Keep going around. And just keep pulling it tight so there's no loose ends to this. And you would tuck that into that. So that is the beginning of the end splice. And then what you're going to do is you're pretty much going to continue around, going like this. You're going to do it at least 3 times. And again, just going to roll it in your hands like so. Just kind of gets the natural fibers flattened out. And there you go, there's your end splice. So as you see, the rope follows the natural curvature of the rope. And the difference between the end splice and how I did this, because I did this on purpose, is to see how immediately, like, this is really fat on this side, and it narrows down. This is going to hold longer than this one. Although this doesn't really matter because it's an end splice. With that, those 3 splices done, so the eye splice, the middle splice, and the end splice, they're all used for different things. The end splice doesn't really have any strength-wise to do because it's a protection knot. And the middle splice is going to be way weaker than the eye splice because you're actually combining 2 ropes or a damaged rope to repair. So keep that in mind when you're doing projects and stuff like that. And the eye splice is used for anchors pretty much. This is going to be, you're going to be using this one a whole lot if you're doing pioneering, stuff like that. So pretty much, if there's any other, I know there's some other splicing out there. I know there's like tools if you want to learn how to use those. If you're interested, please subscribe to my channel.